Hello. Look at me, I'm early. Did it work? Did you guys see the intro? How early am I? I'm still playing around with the damn thing. Hey, twin thing. Dis-I-am, Clancy. How you doing? Did you guys see the intro? Please tell me it played. You would think that I was trying to produce a feature-length film here, when actually all my dumbass has to do is figure out how to push the button at the right time. Woo, hell to the no. Oh, I'm so glad it played. Should we watch it again? I think we should. That is the intro that Menace to Sobriety was kind enough to make for me, and I'm so appreciative. And then YouTube's top mod, Dis-I-am the Illusion, he had to then help me with it further because the file size was too big. And do you think I knew how to? No, I don't know how to do any of this shit. So I am glad that I was competent enough to push the button and make it work. Hey, Bash the Tragedy Pimps, how you doing? You just got done eating Schlotzsky's? We used to have Schlotzsky's. I don't think we have them anymore. You know what I ate? Half a quart of ice cream. You guys, I'm like to the point where I'm just sick. I feel so, and it's specialty ice cream. It's because typically I don't roll around eating a quart of ice cream in the middle of the day just because. But today I did. Hey, Beer Can, how you doing? Oh, well, we'll play it again for you, Beer Can, because I am early, you guys. Apologies. Hey, Crazy Nurse. I thought since I just got the damn intro to be the right file size, the whole nine. Hey, Tuesday, how you doing? Yes, that's me, the hostess with the mostess. Okay, we'll play it again for the kids who are on time. You're not late, I was early. So we'll play it again. How about that? Let's see if I can figure out how to do it. Oh, you know what? I think I will have to do it as... Did it work? Were you guys able to see it the second time? Okay, good. Good. Oh my God. I feel like I'm 6 months pregnant right now. I assure you I'm not. Modern medicine hasn't found a way to turn back the hands of time. I mean, they've found a way to turn, these hands of time back, but not the once your eggs are scrambled, I don't think they've found a way yet to unscramble it.
Sorry, I'm still not sure about that.
Bitch, my God, it never fails. I swear to you, Siri, it's so ironic that I cannot get that bitch to do one thing I ask her. I don't care if I scream. I don't care. Hey, Mike Stevens, how are you? I don't care if I ask nicely. It doesn't matter how I ask. She's always just like spinning, 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 spinning. When I'm not asking for a damn thing is when she all of a sudden wants to start working like a rented mule. Like, I don't get it. One time I really gave it to her and she said, that's not very nice. Yeah, I argue with Siri so much that I changed her to the Australian accent because I thought, well, if I got to fight with that bitch, at least I want to hear her. I want to hear her talk to me in a lovely Australian accent, mate. Oh yes. Oh God, crazy nurse, isn't she? She's a pain in my ass, is what she is. Hey Willis, how are you? I did tell Heels in the Air that I was going to be going live at 3. And hey, if she found herself with nothing to do and she thought she might want to, pop in and say hello, we would just, do a little, like maybe a redux of the other night. If you didn't catch our first collab, myself and Heels in the Air on what's this? It was Wednesday night. It was a lot of fun. And Burnt Toast came on panel. My goodness, I was very honored to have these exalted guests. And Stella, who I don't think Stella has a channel. Stella just is kind enough to listen to all of us. She came up and shot the shiz with us for a while. Oh, I don't have Alexa. I'm creeped out. I really like the idea of all these smart things. What I really don't like the idea of is all these people that collect our info. It's ew. And listen, I'm the most boring person on earth. It's not because I'm doing anything nefarious. I mean, if anything, whoever looked at mine goes, oh my God, the poor bastard married to her. She doesn't get out much, but she buys a lot of stuff online and has every streaming service there is. Oh God, and what's crazy is I buy less than I used to. Hey Catherine, how are you? Oh, crazy nurse, I'm glad you caught it. Beer can, did you like it? Yo, we were up there for 4 hours and it went like that. I was absolutely shocked at the end of the night when I saw the timer. I could not believe we'd been up there that long. Well, I think I've come up with a new name. Instead of Bullhorn Betty, I think I'm going to start calling her Bull Scorn Hetty. Hetty, definitely not as in Hetty Lamar because she was stunning. Nobody's going to accuse Betty of that. And Bull Scorn because my God, that bitch has never had a happy moment in her life. She is like, she brings to mind that expression, hell hath no fury. ... You know the rest of it. Oh, Betty did double research, so now she's only 3 times as wrong. I did do a little bit of, yes, don't you worry. Here's the bad news for her. I figured out how to use the share screen for videos. Now, I'm sure she's probably gonna, well, never mind. Bash the Tragedy Pimps. She's totally a ticking time bomb getting ready to explode. I absolutely agree. She's melting down like a candle. And my opinion is, listen, the only person who thinks Betty is as smart as Betty is Betty. Or somebody real dumb. And to be dumber than she is, you're going to have to work at that. Travel with Caribbean. Hello. How are you? Oh, just all the usual crap. Nothing new, I don't think. I did look around, y'all, to see if I could get that clip of her railing with her vast legal knowledge about why she was one YouTuber in the true crime / she's not true crime, she's crama at best, but one within the real true crime community and creators in crama, and I believe even in drama. She was one who decided that, you know, the rules, they don't apply to her because she's born Betty. And she actually said, and I wish I could have found this, but I couldn't. Queen Bee did play a clip of her. Blah, 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 blah. It was all just bullshit, gibberish, nonsense. Okay. But Queen Bee had it. I was not going to take that and use it without her permission. It was really just Betty being Betty on the shit show that was YouTuber one, that being Bullscorn Hetty, who decided that, well, when the judge said that that trial was not to be recorded, restreamed, etc., I actually heard several people saying, hey, Liza, that she was, quote, given permission by the district attorney to do so. I mean, all you dumbasses that follow her, I'm sorry, I can't help stupid. I don't think in crayon. I don't speak in crayon. Hell, I don't even draw in crayon. I don't draw. But I don't have to know you to know that if you believe anyone from Kern County, whether it be the judge, the JA, the district attorney, or the assistant district attorney, or the paralegal, or the girl who, you know, brings around the coffee and donut tray in the morning. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Are you seriously telling me? Hey, brick with eyes, they eat in crayon. they eat the crayons. Yeah, they would be the equivalent of like that kid sitting in the corner when you were in school who, you know, just wasn't quite like the other kids. You know, the kid eating the Play-Doh, eating the crayons, licking the glue stick. Yeah, you get the picture. If y'all believe for 1 second, I mean, I can't help you all if you're this deficient. But if you believe for 1 hot second that anybody told Betty in defiance of a court order that, what do y'all think it said? No one is to insert directive. No one except Bullscorn Hetty is allowed to do this. And we're going to let her do it because she's a giant in the legal community. I mean, does she think she's like F. Lee Bailey, Jerry Spence? Who? Barry Sheck? I mean, is there anything this idiot could tell you people that you would not believe? Because so far, I haven't seen it. Hey, Gray One, how you doing? Her team. You need to fire your team. But I'm pretty sure team is just a euphemism for the little people up here. Nobody told her she could do that. And you want to know what made it worse and what, you know, just poured a little bit of salt in that wound? If I was a disgusting pig, I'd make a joke right there, but I won't because I'm not. I believe she was collecting super chats and whatnot as she was letting that stream. After she was she, along with everyone else, was explicitly told, you know, and she wants to go on about, and this is what I don't like about, bureaucracy. Bitch, you can't spell bureaucracy. You're not a taxpayer in the state of California. Hell, you probably aren't a taxpayer in the state of Florida. I don't know if you are or not. I don't give a shit. The reason she has no life, or the shitty imitation of a real life that she has, that she lives out on YouTube. I wonder why. Do you ever wonder why she's got all this time on her hands? Well, yeah, she can't get a job anywhere because she's a criminal. At least she's a former criminal. I don't know. As to what she's doing now, I don't know. It truly, put it this way. I was very happy to hear a real lawyer, the real Lady Justice, who I'm pretty sure that Betty probably will tell you that she doesn't know what she's talking about. Probably the same for the Mystery Maven, another lawyer. The real Lady Justice, she took the gloves off yesterday. I heard her call Betty the YouTube village idiot more times than I could count. I've never heard her speak about her like that before. I've heard her, of course, when she hears Betty flagrantly opining on something that anybody who has any legal education knows is pure bullshit. Hey, PP Gate, how you doing? Mike, here's the deal. I have always been nothing but kind and gracious to you. You are getting to the point where you are disrespecting me. You disrespect my chat. You are welcome to stay here as long as you would like, but I don't need to see your little bullhorns with your little hearts. We are all very clear that you are Team Betty, okay? So you're welcome to hang out if you can, do you go in Betty's chat and fly my flag? That's all I want to know. I'm pretty sure I can figure the answer out because she would never allow that. I'm just trying to picture the nuclear meltdown that we would see if you were in her chat in the morning, putting up little dresses and high heels and little heart emojis. Do you tell her, I love Crimes and Fashion? I mean, I'm not telling you need to tell her that. I'm just trying to make a point. And at some point, as shallow as I am, as far as, every girl likes to be complimented. But, we're getting to the point where it's kind of like you're trolling me. I mean, I'm sure you've been trolling me the whole time. Trust me, I'm not dumb. But you do it with Mike knows how to appeal to my shallow side. What can I tell you? But I'm really done with it. I think I've put up with it long enough. So by all means, stay as long as you would like, but we're not going to have any more of, the constant reminders, because this is my channel. You go on Betty's, okay? And you tell Betty, you can tell her all day and night how much you love her. We got the message, and I just don't want to see it anymore. And neither does anybody else in the chat. Oh, brick with eyes, don't you make me pull you up out of that screen and smack you one. The answer, nobody cares. Mike, I don't care that you like her. And you know I don't. We've been through this a million times. But you can't sit in my chat and troll the chat every chance you get, throwing up the, the bullhorns and the whatevers. I mean, no. There becomes a point when it's disrespectful, okay? And we're well past that point. Okay, so this might be a good place for me to read. I'm going to put this up on a graphic. I just didn't have time, y'all. We're going to do things a little differently today. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a permitted. Well, there's a typo. That's not my typo, it's theirs. Fair use. Oh no, I read it wrong. Let's try it for the third time. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Okay. Well, kids, I thought it would be fun today to, we'll just listen to this brilliant legal mind and scholar pontificate. And, if y'all were here the other night, or if you watched it, you know that it took a good, 4 hours to, we didn't. How long did it take us to get through Heels? Yeah, it was a little less than 5 minutes, her video. I know it took a good 2 hours. So I'm going to try, and I have not watched this, okay? Not more than, when you scroll through the queue and you stop on a thumbnail and it plays like the first, 30 seconds or something. That's all I've watched. Hey, kid, how you doing? Okay, so that's all I'm saying about the insanity from yesterday. Betty, you're full of shit. You are a liar, pants on fire. Everyone with a double-digit IQ score knows. Betty is one of these, it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission kind of people. And Betty, girl, I think you underestimated how much people hate you. Hey, Heels, how you doing? And I don't hate you. I think you're a menace to the online community as well as you are to the real community you live in. You're a nobody who knows nothing. God knows nobody would look at you for any reason beside the one they do look and listen to you for. It's hard to believe that all of that has the chutzpah to say the shit she says. But I think in her case, I mean, let's be real. Do you think anybody has ever, I'm going to try and find a nice way to phrase this here. Betty, I don't know, when you go places, Betty, out in public, do men like, I don't know, do they like run to open the door for you? Do they ever just like walk up to you randomly and tell you you're pretty? Do they ever ask you like real stupid questions that you know they couldn't possibly want to know the answer to, that they're just trying to talk to you? Do, 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 do. Hey, Fuchsia Flower. Oh, I love that name. I'm just wondering, Betty. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no. So that's why I believe that, well, that's some of it. This Betty has found a thing here that she's gonna hold on to it, because I think it's checking any number of boxes that have never been checked for her. Sorry, y'all, I forgot to turn my damn phone on silent. Oh, heels, yes. Give me 1 second, and I'm gonna put that out, and then I've got this one queued up, and we'll let it rip. Okay, wait. Let me deal with the link first. Okay. Paste. Okay. Okay, there we go. That link is for Heels in the Air. Okay, so there's that. I think it's giving her the attention that she's never had before, whether it's from men or women. I think she has culled an audience. If I had to make a guess. Oh, well, you know what? Last night I heard Savage say that her analytics showed that her audience was it was either 95 or 98% women. I do not remember the age demographic, but it was, the age of most of us.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Are you better? Okay, you sound better. Hey, Texas Tiffany. I'm gonna cue this. Oh my God, one of the comments says, "Oh my God, Lisa figured out StreamYard." Ooh, yes, and this is probably going to be a very bad thing for a few people.
Now you're dangerous.
Woo, yeah. So okay, so I was saying, I think Betty's demo is probably what the rest of ours is for the most part in this space, and somehow she has culled this audience, and for whatever reason, whether it's because these are older people who do not have any know anything about the law, so they believe what she says, which it would be more notable for me to make a video when she gets something right, than it would be
Right.
when she's being her usual self.
I think she is being her usual self.
Oh, yes, I agree 1,000,000%. Actually, I think your video I might have queued up, just the real short one you did about what Betty said about the.
Oh yeah.
What's it
euthanasia.
going to take for these idiots that think she knows what she's talking about? Like, where do we get to the point where the light bulb comes on and they go, wow, that's
I don't know.
insane. Like, is she going to have to actually
Yeah.
take up her former career as a criminal again? What's going to take?
I don't know. I mean, after that remark yesterday, I don't know how anybody is sitting in that room.
I don't
You
even.
know, anyone left, I wouldn't have anything to do with. Mike Stevens, if he heard that and then he wants to put bullhorns up, okay, that says more about you than.
Oh, well, I've already gotten a handle on that, and hopefully that's taken care of. If not, then it will be taken care of. Lisa.
I mean, that was a pretty serious statement that she made.
Yeah, and the thing is, if she weren't running around here masquerading as some kind of an advocate, it would still be, pretty. We all have thoughts on things. Things I like to call insight thoughts. That people feel the way they feel about things. But you don't always. Most people know and have the good sense that you don't just put every single thing that runs between these two things comes flying out, the slide here.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
It was particularly just outrageous.
Well, and she's talking about kids and what they did is, if they did it, they allegedly did, is horrific. But there are a lot of factors that go into that, and who decides who decides who the bad ones are that need to be euthanized. I mean, has she heard of the death penalty?
We don't do that. I don't. Not at that age.
Not a 12-year-old. No, not a 12-year-old.
No. And
to be honest, I think there are other factors with those kids that weigh in with that.
Oh my God, absolutely. And that is not to excuse anything if they did in fact do that.
No, I'm saying she sees other things that make her say those things. I think she thinks certain people are still below her.
That's the part I don't get is, where does she get off thinking that she is in any way
better
superior to anyone? Because she is not.
Yeah. I think it's an ingrained thing with her.
You know what? I want to clear that. That's something I want to address. I'm glad you said that. I've heard her say this many times, and I'm going to put the kibosh on this. Multiple times. I don't even know how many times, but I heard her say it again. I think it was yesterday, possibly the day before. I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Let me tell you something, bitch. You were born with a plastic spork at best.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I don't live far from her. And I can promise you, if she came from what she would like people to think she came from, I would know who she was. I would have known who she was long before YouTube, because I just would.
Well, I think it's a relative term for her. Maybe, it's a silver spoon as opposed to the biker gangs she used to hang out with,
Oh, that could be.
Yeah. But no, there was.
But I don't know of any situation where I would ever look at her and say, oh, yeah, and it's not even just the look, it's the way she behaves. People who, of course, there's always one-offs, there's always anomalies, but people who truly came from any kind of prominence would never be doing what she's doing online, because your family would not, it would not be acceptable. It just wouldn't. And
not that it is. I mean, we don't know.
It's not. But I just, no.
Because I don't think her dad speaks to her. I think they have they're not on speaking terms.
Gee, I can't imagine why.
Yeah. And then
Maybe I'll use the analogy with her that I told Mal when PayPal Mal was talking about, you know, being a heavy donor or something at St. Jude. And the example I use still holds true. No, Betty, you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth when your name is on buildings around multiple counties. That's so, but it could very well be what you said. It's a perception thing because everything is relative. That's for sure. So,
Yeah.
okay, so we covered the little bit briefly. I said my piece about her restreaming. Oh, the only thing I didn't say about that, the reason that it is so egregious that Betty, well, multiple reasons, but we've already covered the fact that everyone was expressly and explicitly forbidden from doing so. Of course, she says the district attorney told her it was okay. That's a load of shit. That never happened. And the only other thing I want to say about it is because clearly she can't understand this in her head. And if you paid any attention in any of your legal classes, well, there's due process. My God, California they're so bankrupt in every budget department for the reason of a possible mistrial alone and having to start all the way over at the beginning because some idiot did what they were told not to do. And I don't know what the reasons, there's plenty as to what could cause it to become a problem. So it's just not to be done. So there's that.
What time?
Say, well, what's the big deal? Nothing happened. Well, how do we know that?
What time was it when she started streaming it?
That I don't
Was
know.
it?
That I don't know.
Oh, because if it was later, like after lunch, she could have been drinking and just thought, you know, I'm going to do it anyway, and just streamed it.
Oh, I think that's a life mantra for her. I'm going to do it anyway.
Right.
I mean, it's why she's.
Yeah, that's true.
Is where she is. Who, you know, hey, kind of like you were saying, it's all relative. So if she thinks that she's living her best life by being a YouTube grifter and making a damn fool out of herself, and that's living, hitting the big time and living the high life, so be it. That's not my metric, but we're not talking about me.
She needs consequences, which she never has. So
yeah, and the reality of it is, yes. I mean, when I heard people were, of course, the go-to. Oh, God! Before I forget, I just want to say, I know it was said at the end of a live stream yesterday that I had called and reported her. I did not. I kind of wish I had, but and believe me when I tell you, I would say if I did, because of my understanding was there was about 300 calls that were made.
Wow.
I was not one of them. What I did do was I looked up online during that live and then passed on the information that the judge had put on the website about what was and was not permissible. So just for the sake of clarity, I did not make the call. Like I said, at this point, I kind of wish I had, but I think it ran for several hours. I mean,
wow.
And so quite naturally, I heard many people saying they need to hold her in contempt of court. Well, the problem is they have no jurisdiction over her. And even if they did, the likelihood that they would have done it, probably slim. Judges, it's got to be, especially when it's something that they don't see with their own eyes. So I knew none of that was going to happen, but it's pretty notable that the clerk of court, that's my understanding, was the clerk of the court called and said, you need to end that and delete it. And of course, what does she say? Of course, after she's off the phone, I believe she said something to the effect of, well, I'll private it. I'm not deleting it because I'll show it later when I'm able to.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that was,
everybody says, wow.
and that was the West Boys case.
Yes. Hi, London girl. Hi, Steph B. Yeah. Yes. I mean, as if those two babies haven't been my God, in their little short lives, how badly they were treated, disrespected, abused. And Miss Child Advocate could not find it within herself anywhere to not do that. And, you know, if she's any kind of legal professional and has a legal education, well, then she should understand the implications of her actions. But she doesn't.
Well, no, she doesn't even understand innocent until proven guilty.
Oh, yeah, she thinks it's the opposite.
Or the other way.
Well, in her world, it is.
Right. So, yeah. And she didn't know anything about the case. So I don't know why she was.
I don't know about any of them.
It's true. Yeah, she was explaining Quentin Simon today, and oh my God.
Oh, don't worry, we're going to look at that.
Oh, you're going to look at it? Yeah, that was crazy.
And I have not looked at it. I don't know. I was just going to do it cold. I have no idea what. Oh, you know what? The first one I had queued up was, okay, well, I was going to do the one from, I think it was about 2 days ago, but I'd rather do the one from this morning. Okay, so are we talking about the pre-hearing discussions where
I
she's
think so.
standing in front of the courthouse? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, is it the right courthouse?
Probably not. Yeah, it's the one where they're oh, never mind. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Oh, yes, I'm sure that they've rolled the red carpet out for her, don't you think?
Absolutely. Well, Chief Hadley loves her.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. That's why I figured that they would have rolled the red carpet out. All right, let me make it full screen.
Okay, all in one day. Like, we don't hear that too often. So I'm going to wait for a few people to get in the chat, and then we're going to get started. Let me know if I see something out here
shocked me.
on my, at least I think I'm on my internet. I hope I'm on my internet. I've got the hotspots put up out here.
Okay, I'm sorry. Y'all have packed lunch. What the fuck is all this going on here? How many lanyards does a one woman need? Okay, what, like, we've got at least 2 lanyards going on. What's this purple like thing coming out of V? Is that part of
that? Yes, that's part of her shirt. Don't be judging her for that. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's stylish.
You know,
I think she has it on backwards, actually.
Oh my God! Nothing would surprise me. You know, I think she might have taken my suggestion about the frizzies. I can't even believe I'm going to say this, but
really?
That hair looks a little tamed. Okay.
I don't. You haven't seen the other side yet.
Well, it's not. I mean, you know, it's still like Ric Flair when he needs his roots done, but it's, you know, it's a little. It's kind of, you know, down on the head instead of going and out. So, okay, I'm going to
give her a point.
Yes. Let it never be said that I can't, you know, give a compliment. Well, we're not going to call it a compliment, but Yes, the American judge is going to give her on a scale of 10 in the coiffure department. I'm going to give her, she usually gets a 1. I'm going to give her 3.5. Hey, headstones and headlines. Ginger snap. Texas Tiffany says she finally brushed that mullet. I think I would concur, and I think we have a nice usage of some type of silicone product
here, and we've got it. We're already in. So there's the courthouse right behind me. If you wonder why I'm standing here.
No shit, Betty. God almighty. Does she think that people can't read? I mean, she did the same thing the other day. Like, she must really think everybody is as dumb as she is. Yeah, Betty, we get it. You're at the, oh, really? That's not the mall? God, I thought you were at the mall.
Why does her hair do that? See how it goes to the side like that? I mean, I wonder if it's cut like that, or does she put product to make it?
Are we talking about this?
That
or that?
mullet type of thing?
This thing right here, like I call it the wave.
I can't see where you're pointing.
My guess would be this. My guess would be, and I have to say I'm guilty of doing this too. If you don't have like a bank of mirrors where you can, when you're the one you're in front of and then the one behind you will like at least get a little bit of this so you can see the back.
It's on the side. It's right on the side of her head.
Yeah, I think she does one of these. I think she does something like this and then
gotcha.
pushes it back and calls it a day. That's what I think.
Oh, gotcha. I gotcha.
She just doesn't either realize that there is a back to her head. Oh, Betty, another thing I would recommend, Pumpkin, put it on your Amazon wish list. Although on Amazon you can't get the, well, no, I think you can get the originals. Girl, you need to invest in a slip silk pillowcase. It will, well, I mean, the hair, it's probably beyond helping that, but it's also good for the skin because you know how like if you sleep really hard, sometimes you'll wake up and you'll have dents in your face. Well, silk doesn't make dents.
You think the silk is what made those dents?
Well, it doesn't make the, you know, you don't get those sleeping dents in your face.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't crease your face. Okay. Moving on.
Because I got a bench right here to hold my stuff.
Wait a minute. Let's count the lanyards, shall we? Well, what the hell did I just do? Okay, sorry about that. How many
would she need to?
I see 1, 2.
She's got 3, I think.
Lanyards. Okay, since this is somewhat of a fashion, you know, show as well, Betty, we've got way too much going on here. Okay, girl, you need to pick a lane. All right. So we've got the overly blinged plastic sunglasses. We've got these beaded chandelier earrings. We've got 300 lanyards of different lengths, materials, and colors. Then we have this weird, like, architectural design of the top. And then I see another thing going vertical. It's way too much. Way too much. Pick one. That goes for all ladies. Like, it's, you know, especially when you're wearing shit that's so, like, big. And can we stick with a theme as well? Like,
yeah, there's no theme.
Flea market is the theme. That's the theme I'm getting.
Yeah. Or let me just try all these on at once. Nothing goes together. I just want to.
Yes. Edit, Betty, edit your mouth, edit your videos. And for God's
I've never seen another pair of earrings on her ever. Besides the gold ones.
Those are her go-tos?
I've never seen these. I've only seen her wear the gold ones.
Well, listen, on her way to Georgia, she probably stopped at Pilot to get gas and maybe take a shower or something. And, you know, she just decided to get herself some, or maybe she went to the Buc-ee's. Because
Buc-ee's, yeah, they have a lot of stuff.
Oh my God, legit. Well, hell, she could furnish her house from Buc-ee's.
They have good banana pudding.
Oh, I've never had that. Oh, you know what? Have you ever used the bathrooms at Buc-ee's?
Probably, yeah.
Well, they have that so dialed in. First time I ever went there, my husband, he gave me that look when he saw the line in the bathroom. I could tell he was like, "Oh, great. Yeah, we're going to be here for an hour." Because the line, I swear to you, there was probably 40 people in line ahead of me. I was in and out of that bathroom in about 5 minutes time. They
Yep.
literally are like air traffic controllers in there. And I
And
thought,
it's huge.
my God, we need to get the damn Buc-ee's board of directors. We need them to take over Congress and
The government, yeah.
yeah. I mean, they got that place running in tip-top shape. All right, back to Betty.
Got the courthouse right there, and perfect. There's perfect camera footage right here, right? And I'm in the shade because it's starting to warm up in Georgia. Okay, we're starting to feel a little bit of that Georgia heat out here. I gotta be honest.
Down to Georgia.
Creeping up there. It's like 75 when I rolled in. That means if it's 75 right now, it's gonna be a hot Georgia day today.
Wow.
And as you can see, I'm a little flush already. I'm a little flush already.
You're sweating, Betty. That's not flush, pumpkin. If you were prettier, I would say you were glistening, but you're not. So,
but it doesn't stop the coffee queen from drinking her coffee on a hot day, right?
Okay, but enough about me.
You're an idiot. Betty invented coffee, okay? She's the coffee queen. I guess she's never.
That's what we do. That's what we do. So why are we here? Leilani, the defense team thinks they're going to be able to get this mallet.
Why are we here? Well, we're here to terrorize American jurisprudence. We're here.
And who's we?
Yeah, it's those, it's that never-ending board meeting she's always having with the rest of the members of Tragedy Pimps Incorporated they're renting space in her head.
Why is she there?
My guess would be money.
Well, but I mean, she's not going to get in. They're not going to let her in.
Oh, hell no. Are you kidding me? They have a dossier. Every employee there has been told, if you see this moose walking around, she is on the no-fly list for the courthouse. Yeah. Now, in fact, I would not be surprised. Let me tell you what I'd have done if I was Chief Hadley and knew that this wretched bitch was coming to stand in front of the courthouse. Well, whoever had authority to do it, I would have ordered every tree within that parking lot that could provide shade. I would have ordered them mowed down. The bench that she's using, nope.
Dig it up.
Dig it up. Yep. We're gonna make this as uncomfortable as possible.
Their indictment, like that's the entire case right there. So her attorneys are working overtime. Poor her, right? And we're not even going to get into.
Yes, you dumb bitch. That is what a defense attorney is supposed to do. I'm sure you've had a few that, well, they probably didn't work overtime for you because they hated your guts. But yeah, that's kind of the point of having one. It's so weird to me how she, like, Miss Legal Scholar here. That's the most people who do know about the law have the utmost respect for the process. You may not clearly you're not going to like the people that cause the need for the process, but it's the best one in the world. Well, second to Betty's, of course. Betty's
right,
better,
right.
A
revised edition.
Yeah. No charge Hadley while we're sitting in here in
why does she call him no charge Hadley, bitch?
Yeah.
No charge Hadley.
Because she's a disrespectful, wretched, know-nothing, juvenile bitch.
I mean, that's a personal thing that she doesn't like him. But he,
Well, he wouldn't bend to her will. That's why.
yeah, I mean, that's so disrespectful for what he did. I mean, the whole thing with Leilani being named a suspect, that was Billy Joel's fault because she found out that I think they knew he had been placed in a dumpster and she put it on Twitter or Facebook. And so Hadley came out and just threw his hands up and he goes, okay, then we're just going to have to. She said that Leilani put him there. And so he just came out and said, okay, she's a suspect. That was before Betty and Dolly even got to Georgia. They were on their way that she was named a suspect. So that short period of time, and I don't think they would have named her until they found him. But that short period of time, it took them to arrest her. What was 2 weeks, 3 weeks? That's
Was,
incredible.
I know. This should be yet another example of how little she understands about how the system works, how overburdened it is. I mean,
and speedy trial. She doesn't know about that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess in her law school they didn't teach that. It is. Do you know of anybody that Betty likes in the whole world?
Dolly.
Besides JLR, and it's interesting.
But I think
she only likes other dirtbag people. Like,
yeah.
Is there any normal people she likes?
Not that I'm aware of.
And did you happen to hear her? Did she make any response to the real lawyers who, well,
no.
Lady Justice called her the YouTube Village idiot multiple times last night.
Yeah, no. I haven't heard a thing.
Come out and tell them how stupid they are.
But I knew she would ignore it. That's what I'm saying. The most embarrassing things can happen to her, and she just ignores it. Just goes on the next day like it didn't happen.
I'm going to say right here, that's kind of a gift, truly. It's not a gift I would like, but I think I can't believe I'm going to say another nice thing about her. There is something about that, whether it's pure ignorance,
or psychopathy.
Yeah, whether it's a psychiatric issue, whatever it is, there is something to be said for. But she can do that. But what she can't do is ever let anything go by her without her, her disproportionate foaming at the mouth response to any type of. It's weird. She cannot take criticism at all. However, she does have the ability of being called out and made to look like the fool that she is. And she can not even acknowledge it. So it's
right.
It's a weird thing.
Well, it's because whenever she does something like yesterday, that's something she did. That's like her criminal record. She can just act like it doesn't exist. I think that's what she does. I've seen her do several things that I would never come back from.
I do know, because I've said several times, wow, like how's she gonna? I get it. I totally understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, she just skips right over it. When they gave the wrong name of Kohlberger, they said some other guy's name. She and JLR erased his announcement, but she and Olivia stood there and said, "We're first. We have the name of the Idaho 4 killer," and gave some guy's name. Put his picture up, wasn't him. And about maybe 10 minutes later, they took it down. She never said a word, never said she was wrong, just kept going. So many people took a screenshot of that guy and started immediately looking him up,
Someday she's
careless.
going to cross the wrong one, and she's going to have she won't have the choice to just act
Walk
like it
away.
never happened.
Yeah.
Act like it never happened.
To get right into the piece of garbage by the name of Leilani Simon. And if you guys are just tuning in for the first time and have no idea who Leilani Simon is, you are going to want to sit back and hear this. So in October, we learned that a child went missing. So we started watching it, and then we started learning that the mom has been caught in several lies, saying that the father had the child, that she wasn't living with the biological father, but she believes the biological father had the child. She believes that the child, she just came up with some of these things. So we started queuing in, and we started feeling like there's a lot of red flags in this case, enough that it sparked our attention to say, hey, maybe we need to go down there, because what I don't like is, I don't like other people's work. So I'm reading.
What the hell does that mean? I don't
Yeah,
like
I don't know, but
work.
she was already a suspect. Andra, the only reason Andra went was because Dolly was going. So Andra suddenly read up on.
And they were having a working vacation.
Not on this one. That was where somewhere else they went, Idaho, but not.
Oh, I
here.
forgot about that one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so she, like in 2 days, she said, guys, do you think I should go? Put a 1 in the chat. I just need support to be able to go to this case. She knew nothing about it. And by the time they were on their way, she was already named a suspect. So all this bullshit she's saying, it had already happened.
I don't like other people's work. Like who?
Yeah, she had to check it out herself.
Yeah.
That kind of shit she says, it just makes my head blow up.
Hey, Kathy Bees. Yeah.
Hey, Kathy.
How you doing? Wow. Yes, says the woman that thinks children should be euthanized. Yes, correct.
Hey, Stella.
Reading these articles, I'm reading, all this stuff. I'm watching all these videos on there, and I'm thinking to myself, a lot of people on different sides of the aisle, they believe that, this child was abducted, this child was sold. Like we always hear, every time a child disappears, the child's sold somewhere. Like we have a child.
Well, no, Betty, every time you hear that a child's missing, I would imagine you probably say something like, oh, goody. Well, I hope they don't find him too soon, because, I can get a lot of super chats off of this one.
Right.
And I did censor what I actually wanted to say.
Good girl.
Market on every corner across the United States, but somehow this child was sold. We heard, that it was probably the babysitter. Remember that? The babysitter did it, right? We heard a laundry.
Did she not interview the babysitter? Or
and who said the babysitter did it?
Yeah,
if you're talking about idiots, then maybe somewhere in a dungeon they said that.
Yeah, because I do not ever remember hearing. In fact, I heard quite the opposite. What I heard, and what my own opinion was that Quentin probably had his happiest times
with her
at the babysitters. So,
right.
And I'm almost positive that the babysitter had the very unfortunate judgment to talk to this dirtbag.
And Molly.
Okay, another member of Tragedy Pimps Inc. Okay, yeah.
Right.
List of people that did it, and I'm just scratching my head because I was ready. Hey, I was ready to go scorch earth on her, and I said, you know what? She's a young.
What did she just say? I was ready to go torture on her.
Scorch earth.
Oh, scorched earth. Oh, I bet Betty doesn't even know what scorched earth really is.
Probably not.
Mom, let me come out here and find out what we can learn about this young mom. Surely she didn't injure her son. Surely she didn't do that.
Bullshit. No.
We got out here, and
do you think there was 1 second?
Not 1 second.
Where she thought, oh, this poor mom, let's find out. Yeah, no.
Not 1 second.
Yeah.
Because she was already a suspect. I'm telling you, no sooner than they got in their car to go there, she was named a suspect. I mean, I could look it up, but it was either before or during their trip up.
Yeah, but Betty's good at wanting to rewrite history.
She's totally rewriting it.
Mm-hmm. In bad grammar with no punctuation, you can be sure.
lo and behold, within a few hours, people started just coming in. Apparently, with the hate channels broadcasting that we were out here, people knew we were out here, and they just started coming up to us, started talking to us. We started.
What's a hate channel?
She was 100% named as suspect when they were there. That I know. While they were there, she'd already been named.
She wouldn't have gone
And-
there otherwise.
Well, I think it was when Dolly was going there, and I think it was for this case. But now she's saying neighbors and people were just coming out of the woodwork to come and talk to her about Leilani.
Oh, sure.
Leilani was already named a suspect. It's not like these people are telling her this. And so now she didn't think she would kill her kid, but all these people are making me think maybe she did. No, bitch. She thought she knew.
Oh, shit. I mean, first of all, I don't know about you, but if I live on a street where something of this magnitude is happening, and I mean before, well before this Tragedy Pimp Circus had 3 rings going and we just had the one. If you're on that street and you've already talked to countless people from law enforcement,
Right.
Nobody would have to tell me. It would go without saying, but I have no doubt that they probably said, listen, we would appreciate it if you do not discuss this. They can't tell the neighbors that they can't talk to media, but Betty's not the media, just like I'm not the media, despite what she would like you to think.
Well, no, and the minute they got there, a guy has a autistic son that lives, I think it's right next door to him, immediately started a fight with him. I mean, there were French fries being thrown, and Betty saying,
I remember seeing the video. Okay.
yeah, that was the minute they got there and started setting up. They're fighting with that guy.
Listen, that tells you everything you need to know about these people, because I don't know about you, but I don't care where I go. My goal is never to intrude on people. I don't care where it is. So if you are such a scumbag that you're going to go to a neighborhood that's already turned upside down because of all this, and then you're going to go there and you're going to plant your fat ass with your little bullhorn in front of somebody's driveway. And I know what her response is all the time. This is public property. Bullhorn Betty can go wherever Bullhorn Betty wants. I know the law. I don't break the law. Blah, 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 blah.
Over and over. Easement.
A normal person, if you had to go there for whatever reason, do you think the real media goes there and says, okay, guys, when we get out of the van, our mission is to make life as difficult as possible, to be as rude, shitty, and hateful as possible to everyone we encounter? Of course not.
No.
They do, because they're trash.
Yeah. There was media there, but they were just standing there, just with their cameras, like normal people, not bothering anyone.
Yeah, because it kind of goes against it. It's kind of the antithesis of, well, boy, we'd really like to get some inside talk from the neighbors, from the friends. If you go out there and you make a damn fool of yourself and you disrupt these people's lives just for fun, I don't think who talked to her besides the babysitter the first time? I don't remember.
A group of crackheads.
Oh, besides them. No, people that live there. Did anybody actually speak
I don't
to
think
them?
so.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't think so.
I don't think they did either. Hey, Chaos, how you doing? Saucy,
I think
how are you?
maybe she talked to the ex-boyfriend, maybe. I think, but I'm not sure.
He wouldn't have any ulterior motive with that.
No, but Molly paid the babysitter $500.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
$500.
Yep. That's their going rate. That's what they usually pay the star witness. They didn't get anything from her.
Oh, good for her. I just can't, I don't know. I just can't believe that. Wow. That is something else. Yeah.
Yeah, but the FBI, the police, everyone has already talked to these people. They've already asked the right questions. They've gotten the answers they needed. Betty thinks she's going to get something more from them.
Oh, it's her sparkling wit and her wonderful personality. She has a way of ingratiating herself with people.
And she did get in with the babysitter. Go ahead.
To people at restaurants and fast food joints at the gas station, trying to make heads or tails of it. We ran across, here, let me move that down.
We ran
Always.
Several people
Always
that wanted to talk, that told us a lot of information about Leilani, some people close to her families, close to her friends, and they were saying that she never had a connection with this child, that this child, she would.
This whole thing that she does, that she's saying right now, is so ludicrous.
It's outrageous.
She's been saying it since she was there, that somebody told her about Leilani not getting along with Quentin's father, and so she
shocking.
always.
Wow, that is shocking. That never happens.
But I mean, she has this whole story. That's why she beat Quentin all the time and didn't beat the other kids near as much. She doesn't know what happened.
No, she doesn't. None of us do. That's what we have these courtrooms for.
Right. And was this the guy at the gas station that was, she says, close to the friends? What does that mean? Close to the friends? You know?
No.
Yeah. And
no clue.
She was showing pictures, and so was Justin. Bruises all over Quentin, and they weren't bruises. The babysitter gave them the pictures, and she said, no, that's not bruises. You know, so they made, I mean, it's enough that she killed him, allegedly. Why do you have to bring all this other stuff in?
And you know, I'll tell you what, I believe that if she ever, let's just pretend we have this scenario, that Miss Legal Scholar here, I think that Betty would take the chance of that baby never getting justice if it meant that she could get an interview for her YouTube channel. And I think even if she was told, listen, if you do this, the chances of getting a conviction are slim to none.
She would still do it. Of
course she would. I absolutely believe that.
Yeah, because I don't, she doesn't care, really.
No, she doesn't care about herself, for fuck's sake. Look at her. I mean, she doesn't.
Well, they didn't go there to search. You know, they're always saying that they're going to go search. They're not searching. You know, they weren't out there.
It's hot.
Yeah.
The devil went down to Georgia.
Jump over the other children to punish, instead of punishing the other children or the ones that did it, because he had an older brother, and his older brother sometimes took him out of the crib and took him over to the neighbor's house. Well, it wasn't his older brother that got punished. It was Quentin that got punished.
How the fuck did she know? How does this dumb bitch think she knows what goes on in someone's house?
Because a friend, an acquaintance of a friend told her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I hope they lived there 24/7.
Yeah.
Hey, Flash 22, how you doing? Oh God, it's just.
Leilani never had this connection with this child, and when we started hearing those, we started knowing immediately that there was something.
We started knowing,
and she was already a suspect.
Yeah. Okay. There's your professional journalist. We started knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
there was something desperately wrong with this situation. And we started getting that horrible gut feeling that we get when we cover cases like.
Oh, well, wait.
I know. I know.
That.
So
Betty has
That's
an
my-
underbite like my dog. Like what is this that's going on with these
I
is
never
it
noticed.
partial? What is that down there?
It moves around sometimes.
They don't, those teeth belong in someone else's mouth. Like these here do not match the other ones. Not that that has anything to do with this, but she's a bitch. I cannot stand her. So, I just thought I'd point that out.
Yeah, I mean, I have noticed it in videos where it looks like it might move a little bit.
It's to me, it just doesn't match the rest of her mouth. That belongs in another mouth. And every time I look at her hideous face, that's just what I'm like. I'm always drawn to those bottom teeth that don't look like they belong to her.
We ended up finding out, I think it was the next day. I can't be 100%, but I believe it was the next day that she was finally identified as the person of interest in the case. She was the only the suspect, the only suspect that they named.
No. She's lying. She's straight up lying. She was named a suspect before she got there. Now she's saying, sure enough, I thought all these things and people told me this stuff. And, in the other cases, I've always been right. And so it was just the next day they named her as a person of interest. Bullshit.
I think that sounds right to me. I don't believe for 1 minute she went down there. Well, I mean, why would she? Why would she go down there without without knowing? I mean,
She didn't.
Yeah.
Dolly said he was going. And then suddenly she's telling, I remember screenshot or doing the screen recording. He said he was going. And suddenly she had this immediate need to get there. And in 2 days, I think it was like Thursday and Friday, she was gone. And knew nothing about the case. Started talking about it, we'll say Thursday and Friday. Thursday afternoon and Friday she was gone.
She is a beast. She's an absolute beast in more ways than one.
They believe that now she has thrown her child in the garbage and that the child is now at the landfill. This is a 20-month-old child, by the way, for those folks that are unfamiliar with this particular case. 20-month-old child.
One bit of news in the last.
She she was arrested almost a month later, right before Thanksgiving. They let her stay in her bed. She was on double probation. And when we found out that they named her as the primary suspect, we knew that they had enough evidence to label her that publicly. So we couldn't understand.
What? Okay, she was on probation in a different county. I don't know why she always says double probation. She was on probation.
What is double probation?
I guess she had 2 of them. But they're not going to arrest her in that county because I don't even know how she says she broke probation. But somehow Andrea says she broke her probation. But it's in a different county. Are they going to go extradite her to the other county and then extradite her back for the murder?
Do we know what it was for? Whatever
Yeah.
it was on
Drinking. Oh, it was stupid. It was
very serious. Yeah.
No, she had stolen like a jar of pennies or nickels or quarters, a jar of change, and where she was working.
Okay.
And then when she was working, she stole cigarettes and a bag of chips or something. But Andrea didn't read what her probation said. I remember it back then. But no, they weren't going to arrest her for drinking.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder why. Could it be because if they had done that,
she'd be extradited.
An attorney would have been appointed to her, and the attorney would have naturally said, listen, what this right here, this is nothing. You've got bigger problems. My advice to you, say nothing. Say not one word. I mean, I don't understand how she does not, it's like she cannot, she's like a 12-year-old. Her thinking is so juvenile and simplistic.
Yeah.
She cannot seem to make the long game. They knew exactly where that girl was. She wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
They wanted the best possible case. Somebody needs to like get their crayons out and draw her a picture of speedy trial.
Right.
I need to look up and see.
And Hadley, the way she got on him, she doesn't realize that Hadley doesn't even make that decision. That's not his decision.
That's what's really hilarious. Let me explain this for the benefit of anybody who didn't hear this the other day when I put it in the chat. I think, was it Queen? No, whose chat was I in? Oh, it was Burnt Toast yesterday. The very general, simplistic way this works is the police think have committed a crime. The police do the investigating. They then take what they have learned in their investigation and they go to the district attorney and they say, this is what we got. Can we charge her? Can we arrest and charge her? And they're either going to say, no, we don't have enough. I need more. I need X, Y, Z. Come back when you've got X, Y, Z. That's how it works. Cops go back, they do more work. It's
right.
They want, I don't know why. I mean, this is just basic 101, any kind of legal. I would think this would be a civics class. Never mind, legal education.
Yeah, a paralegal wouldn't know this.
And the minute someone is arrested, well, speedy trial, if they decide to waive the speedy trial, or to not waive the speedy trial requirements, well, tick tock, the clock starts. And the district attorney then has to scramble to get,
right.
I'm going to find out. I keep saying I'm going to see what the time frame is, but she wants you, the way she talks, you would think that this is all just lies with Chief Hadley.
Right, exactly.
It doesn't. They do the investigating. It's the district attorney or the grand jury if there's an indictment, but it's the threshold is still the same. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, the DA has to okay that arrest.
Yeah, because, and they do not prosecute cases that they do not have. I mean, I couldn't tell you what the percentage is, but they have to have an overriding idea that they will, in fact, get a conviction.
Right.
Nobody
and even
has
Steve,
any money. None of these,
No.
departments have any money. They don't have a dime to waste. You need my snark on Twitter? Chaos says, Crimes and Fashion, we need your snark on Twitter. Oh, I'm pretty sure I got enough people who hate me on one platform. I'm not sure. Okay, moving
that's
on.
a great pause there.
Oh, isn't it? It really illustrates that underbite. Look at, you tell me, I'm sorry, those are not the same teeth.
It's crooked. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not the same teeth.
And we were thinking that the cops were coming to arrest her any moment now, that our job was pretty much done, that we can just,
What job?
arrest.
What the fuck does that
Oh
mean?
my God.
What's her job? You don't have a job, bitch.
Our job was pretty much done because she talked to the guy at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, being a jailhouse lawyer, that's not on YouTube. That's not a job, sweetie. What? Do you have a job we don't know about?
And what job did you do? Like, our job is done. Oh my God.
Yeah, neighborhood's worst nightmare. check. Oh God. Okay. Moving on.
Crazy.
We can't seem to get more than 30 seconds in before.
And head back home. Job is done. Case closed, right? She did it.
No, bitch,
No.
case
They
just
left
started,
her out.
idiot.
Again, double
Okay, I'm
probation.
sorry.
Could not.
Did you hear what she just said? This is another illustration of how she is dumb AF. Job
Yeah.
done. We've already discussed. Case
Case closed.
closed.
Right.
No, dumbass. That is case opening. Case starting. Case
Yeah.
is far from closed.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure, well, I was going to say, I'm sure it's a turn of phrase, but look who we're talking about. It may not be a turn of phrase. She may actually think that. She is wrong.
That. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
pass a drug test. Could not pass a drug test. This hearing here, this motion
she
hearing
know
here
that?
is a very, very, very
Well, I'll
important.
tell you
You
what.
passed the drug test, Betty? Just wondering. I mean,
They had some kind of court hearing for the other two kids. And I think she failed, but she failed the drug test. But here's the thing. If you read her probation for stealing chips and cigarettes had no requirements that she didn't drink. I mean, no, you shouldn't do drugs. That's their deal. But that wasn't part of her probation. And that's what Betty keeps saying is she violated her probation for drugs.
now,
And then
did Leilani
drinking.
ever get caught with ecstasy and a scale?
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh,
And
Leilani?
this one
Oh,
broke
we know
her
she-
probation over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, she got caught with another DUI while on probation from her first DUI.
And I'm just going to say for the ones in the back, and this is not for anybody in this chat because obviously you guys are smart and you don't need to hear this.
That Mike.
Neither one of us are in any way endorsing Leilani or saying we think she's a good person. Not at all. I mean, at least for me, I am confident that she is more than likely guilty and will be found so by a jury of her peers. Okay, this is not about Leilani. This is about this wretched beast that looks like the love child of Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair on your screen. That's
right.
That's what this is about. Not
That
Leilani.
and it's there's no reason to spread misinformation like she does. Like, oh, they're not arresting her and they're corrupt and letting her go and
Sound bites.
she
Yep, they're just
has nothing to do with Leilani. We like for people to actually know how a case goes in true crime, you know?
And Betty is not, this is not the world according to Betty. I don't know. I'm just a big fan of irony. And the irony of this, thinking that she has any right to make these sweeping, uninformed judgments. And I just don't get it. I don't know who listens to her.
Hearing, because this is where her defense is saying they don't have enough evidence. They haven't produced enough to allege this malice murder. They want to remove the malice murder and a couple other things. I think it's a couple more felonies off the indictment. We're going to read some articles and we're going to actually read the actual indictment.
Oh my God.
So we can look at it and compare what they're actually trying to remove from the indictment. But
I can't wait for that part.
I don't think they're going to have enough legal argument.
No shit.
This
is common. It's common to do this.
And what do we
You know
know
what I
what
mean?
this hearing is really called? Because what this idiot called it was it wasn't a legal, it didn't look like a legal term she used. So I'm not even sure what this actually is. Are you? Do you know?
No, I don't.
Let me see what she called it. Betty called it.
How many subscription.
Pre-hearing discussions. Okay, there you go. Hello, if that doesn't tell you what an idiot she is, I assure you there is no legal document or legal, well, the legalese that she's calling what is going on in that room. No.
Is she calling that, or is that her title?
That's her title, but why would she not have titled this what the actual name of the motion is?
Yeah, what's the hearing about?
Yeah, I'm sure it's a motion hearing.
Yeah, and they're motioning to dismiss.
Right.
I'm sure the defense, which is common.
So
they'll do it all throughout a trial.
It's honestly, it's mind blowing to me. She doesn't even, I mean, I don't know, call me crazy, but if I'm trying to tell my audience what the video is going to be about,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to call it discussion on motion to blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to call it pre-hearing discussions. You know why? Because she didn't know, and she's too fucking lazy because she doesn't care to look up in the court docket. That's all she had to do was look it up in the docket. In fact, maybe I'll do that. Well, but I'm too busy screaming at her. I don't think I have time to do that.
Okay.
Indictment, because in fairness, officers followed her movements, followed her to a dumpster. They had the dogs there. The dogs made a hit on the dumpster, one of the dumpsters there, not all the dumpsters, just one. They got video footage of her sitting out there. And now the child was actually in the landfill. So I would think that the only legal argument that they really have at this point is somebody else did it, right? So I do believe.
Wait a minute. Did she just said malice murder, correct?
Right.
Malice murder has zero to do with someone else doing it, Betty. Malice murder is where you have planned this and plotted it ahead of time. It was not a spur of the moment.
Yeah, that's what she's charged with. I don't understand what she just said. That police followed Leilani out there. The dogs hit on the dumpster. When did the police follow her out there? Not after, like, they didn't follow her out there when she put him in the dumpster. That would make sense.
And none of that has jack shit to do with what she herself said right before that about what they're doing in this building, which is she doesn't know what they're doing in that building. Because she
just says they're trying to get rid of all the charges.
Well, they're not trying to get rid of
I guess the motions are already in, and that's what they're going to decide.
Right. So what that has to do with what she said immediately after that, I mean, it's like, if I just said they're trying to get malice murder removed, my next thought is not, yeah, the cops, they saw her at the dumpster and the dog hit on the dumpster and it was one dumpster, not all the dumpsters. You know what I see her?
I don't even get where that came from.
I think I kind of might know. This is the longest I've ever watched this stupid bitch. And I'm picking something up with her. I think what she does, because she's lazy and she's dumb, in my opinion, and I think what she does is she just throws these things out here. She, like her brilliant legal title, pre-hearing discussions, instead of discussion on motion to dismiss malice murder, blah, blah, blah. So I think because she clearly has not done, well, like it's the word she loves, due diligence. She hasn't done her research, or, you know, whether that's 38 seconds worth or 3 hours worth. She's done none. And I think what she's doing there, I think she is trying to like buy time. she's trying to come up with something in her head to kind of bring it back around to what it's supposed to be. So while she's doing that, because she didn't do it before she turned that camera on, because TikTok, there's only so many waking hours in the day she can grift for money. Why the hell would she waste it on research? Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. I believe she stays up all night long researching.
Oh, yeah.
This must have just gotten past her. Kind of like when she was in front of the big emergency operations building at the other case,
Yeah.
and she was doing this.
Yeah.
What was all that about?
I don't know what that is.
I really think she is not. The only people who think Betty is as smart as Betty wants you to think she is Betty and the little people in her head talking to her. Nobody else believes that. And I think all of that is, and this blah, 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 this gobbledygook that comes out of her mouth. I really think it is. I think it's her trying to buy a little bit of time and maybe try and formulate something that I think Betty's all about what sounds like she knows she's talking about. Because let's face it, I mean, she's not fooling anybody. Not anybody.
She's fooling some people.
Well, that is more a reflection of them than.
Right. Yeah, the swaying back and forth. I can't figure out who. She's emulating someone, and it's like
Mallory?
some tough guy.
Okay.
No, it's like some tough guy that, they go back and forth when they're.
Dusty Rhodes?
I don't know. No, it's like Dog the Bounty Hunter or somebody on CSI, some asshole cop.
No, nobody on CSI has ever looked like
Barney Fife or,
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what it's a.
Yeah, I've always tried to figure out who it is, but she emulates different people at different times. So.
Yeah, but I really do think she's buying time, because I've known lots of people throughout life that I've encountered that do this. Well, and typically they're bullshitters. I mean, and I'm just going to call a spade a spade.
Yeah, she's a bullshitter. Absolutely.
People who lie a lot, people who are bullshitters, people, and some are more verbally gifted than others. She's no Ernie Shell, okay? She doesn't have that gift of gab.
Well, I guess it's fortunate for me that I have never in my life met anyone like her. Not the whole her. Some traits, some other traits, but nothing like her.
But you know what? That's probably just because we didn't have all this wonderful, be your own celebrity YouTube edition.
Oh, true that. Yeah.
Okay.
They're going to try at some point to start alleging that maybe it was Danny that did this, or another occupant inside that home. She finally appears, the lady that's representing her the last time we were here seemed to have been cuddling her a little bit, trying to show her some support,
She's her attorney. Okay.
Her lawyer, you dumb ass. My God. I mean,
as opposed to punching her around?
Yeah. And Betty, let's just let you in on a little secret here. She's going to want her client to be as calm, relaxed, and, holding her shit together as to appear in the best possible light in front of everyone.
That's her job.
Yes, Betty, that's her job. See, this is why Betty makes me crazy, because she says real stupid shit like what she just said.
Yeah. Coddling her a little bit.
And that's good, because what I want a pit bull for the defense counsel, for opposing counsel in this case. I want a pit bull, because that's one less.
What?
She said both. For the defense counsel and the opposing. She wants 2 pit bulls or 1?
I just want one that'll eat her face off. That's not really. I don't want to see anything bad happen.
I think 1 tried.
Feel she's going to have when she's convicted. So we need a good defense attorney for her. We need somebody representing her and fighting for her rights, because that's the way the judicial system works.
Okay.
She
Just
doesn't
go in a circle.
realize that she's going to appeal no matter what, whether
Yeah.
she's got a pit bull, a Jack Russell, a Bichon like I have. It is an automatic. If she is convicted, she is
Right.
automatically going to appeal it all the way to the bitter end.
Right.
It just may not be on the grounds of an ineffective assistance of counsel. Has Betty never watched fucking court TV?
That's always the last appeal.
And I want her to have the best of the best because I want that. I don't want to have ineffectiveness of counsel to be raised as one of her reasons to appeal.
Did she?
And if she has a pit bull for a defense
of counsel,
Yeah.
yeah, Betty, it's ineffective assistance of counsel. But you were close, Pumpkin.
counsel, that's one less appeal we have to worry about when this scumbag goes to jail. For
No, Betty, no, it's not one less appeal. It's definitely.
I've always, yeah, somebody was appealing their death sentence. I can't remember who I was reading about. And the lawyer said, that's always the last. If they have everything else has failed, they'll throw that in at the end.
Oh, God.
Because there's always something else. You know what I mean? That's not going to be.
Yes. Of
Not
course,
in a murder trial.
a death penalty, but in this kind of case, well, a more minor kind of case. It's just, I'm sorry. I've listened to her long enough now, since she's been on YouTube, to know that I don't give a shit what she says she has for education. Betty, sue them. Get your money back.
Get your money back. Yeah.
Because it's one thing, and we all make mistakes, we all say things wrong, but she gets more incorrect than she gets correct.
Well, I think she went to one of the schools that were not accredited, and a lot of those schools did have to pay back the student loans because they were like
that. Where she went, I do not know the year that they entered into a matriculation agreement with any of the state schools, but for many years, where she went to school, our state schools would not accept credits from them, except in the core courses.
Right.
That has since changed. But I always say that where she went to school is basically, and other schools like it, to me, they are finance companies,
right,
that are calling themselves colleges, and instead of getting your paid off car at the end of your loan, you get a diploma to put on your wall at, they typically own the finance company that finances you at, probably 26% interest. I don't know.
Yeah. And if you can fog up a mirror, you can get in.
Absolutely. Yep.
or DP. I'm all about DP. Many of you guys know I'm a proponent for the death penalty in certain cases, for certain reasons. If there are extenuating circumstances, then I do agree that there are some extenuating circumstances that should be looked at to decide whether they should do life imprisonment or the DP. But
Betty, here's a news flash, dumbass. That's all decided before that trial starts. Yes, that's. God, her ignorance is absolutely staggering.
Hey, Lost Mother, I saw your comment.
Proponent. Opponent. Am I proponent or opponent? I'm
which one are you, fucking retard? Oh, God, sorry. Oh, I can't believe I just said that.
Oh, now, see, now.
I know that's going to piss people off. I did not mean. Sorry, that's all I can do. I'm sorry I said it. I shouldn't have said it. I can promise you it's the only time I've ever said it on here. I'm going to try never to say it again. If you got to come at me, I deserve it. And my apologies.
And y'all didn't see me here.
There we go. Me and my grammar today. So I want to go ahead and I couldn't wait. I had to get some of the coffee. Just oh yeah, I got here long enough to go to the coffee, get my coffee, and come here and set up. So I just want to read a couple things to you. I've got the indictment up now, which I don't want to read just yet.
Oh no.
Oh,
So this
why
is
would
the
you-
news article, and this came from News Channel 7. They must have stole somebody, because look who's on there. Oh, I don't think you guys can see it.
Because it's
What
where
is,
you
It's
work.
not a WSAV. Oh, it is. It is. Oh, that is an article. I'm about to say.
what
Good God.
was it? I didn't even, what is she talking
The
about?
guy that his name is Brad. He's the local reporter there. Brad. Somebody in chat will know, but it's his picture, and she goes, "Oh look, they have his picture like it was. They stole it." That's what she said. They stole it, but no, it's their article. It's a local article. I don't even know what she thinks.
Well, apparently the chat's been quite forgiving of my slip of the tongue. I wasn't thinking it was going to come from you guys. It's probably going to come from somewhere else. But I will,
Yeah.
all I can do is fall on the apology sword. I did it. Listen, I'm not Betty. When I screw up, I will own it. I did it. I come from a different time. Doesn't excuse it, but that's how it.
Yeah, but yeah, let's move on from it.
Like it came from, I guess their channel must be Channel 7.
What?
I said just move on from it.
Yeah. Yeah, just like Betty. What are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking
It's
about.
on
Well,
Channel
yeah,
7.
I mean, you
Whatever.
owned it. It's
So
not the end of
Savannah,
the world.
Georgia. It says a day before accused murderer Leilani set to make first actual appearance in Chatham County Courthouse, reporters have learned attorneys in the case are asking the judge to throw out 3 murder charges against her. Give me just a second. There's a loud.
Oh! Gee, do you think that was by design? Chief Hadley paid him. Chief
Yeah,
Hadley
he's
gave them a
telling me like
super
that.
chat. Yeah, that was a super chat to go disrupt that manatee wearing earrings out in the parking lot.
Yeah,
Oh, she's so disgusting. God, she's
I know.
so
Hopefully you guys can hear me now.
no, unfortunately.
So the 3 murder charges against her. So they did file a special motion. That's what we're here to learn. They said defense counsel called the charges imperfect in form. So they are using a technical reason to try to remove this charge, these charges. It's multiple charges that they're actually asking to have removed. The defense, what does it say? Any manner in which cruel and excessive physical pain is inflicted or the nature of any object. This is what they're saying they did not have. They failed to allege these things. Cruelty, which any manner which any cruel, excessive physical pain was inflicted. They're saying that they failed to allege that. They failed to allege the nature of any object or weapon which resulted in serious injury to the victim. And I keep wondering, is this the reason why, if you guys remember,
we're not going to listen to her dumbass. I'm going to read it from. Let me pick a website. Imperfect well, no, not self-defense. I'm Googling this to see.
But I mean, this is just part of.
I don't know what, yeah, it's not a special, imperfect to form. It's weird because what keeps coming up, no matter how I put it in, it comes up as imperfect self-defense. Oh, let's see what this is. Charge. This is a California. Oh no, that's a court decision. We're not going to be trying to read that online live. Murder and manslaughter. Oh, okay. Let's see what this says. This might give us a little bit of an idea.
You've got imperfect form.
Yeah, let's see if you read it.
Which is a technicality, she says.
I don't believe anything.
Well, I mean, believe me, she's read a little bit because she always knows a little bit, and then she adds to it.
Let's see, if you're being investigated or have been arrested for a case of homicide, homicide in its simplest terms is an act of killing a person. Not all homicide offenses are crimes.
Murder, yeah.
It is possible for them to be considered justified or excused. Well, I will do a little bit more looking into that because I damn sure will not take her word if she told me water was wet.
It was reported that Quentin Simon's remains went from the FBI over to GBI for additional testing. And I'm wondering if this additional testing is not a direct result from this motion to remove these indictments against Leilani.
That doesn't make sense to me.
No, she said that was wrong.
FBI, then to the GBI, which I'm just on just hearing it. Why would the GBI have better techs and or equipment than the FBI? Is my first like thing that sounds weird. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it sounds strange. But then there was something else she said.
Well, I think because the FBI is not part of. They're just using their resources, but the TBI is in charge
There was something, but
of the case.
it was the order that she made it sound like. I don't know. Who cares? It's Betty. We can be sure that at least half of what she's saying is wrong. Hey Monroe, how you doing? Beat Tim.
Hi, Monroe. Oh, is B Tim in here?
Yeah, he just came in.
Monroe, hey, Jasmina, Headstones. Say hi to Stella. Where's B Tim? There he is. Hey, B Tim.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I bet if B Tim heard those, he would know. He would know what was it?
The imperfect thing.
The imperfect form.
Yeah, if I could bear to like have to listen to her again say the same thing, I would rewind her. But
yeah, they're going to throw art.
The defense called the charges imperfect in form, which we just went over, and in a
imperfect in form.
Imperfect in form, which makes me think maybe there's an error in the way they were filed.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
That's what it sounds like. That would be my guess. Okay.
Alleged all these things related to cruelty, not being able to identify cruelty, excessive physical pain inflicted, the object, or serious injury to the victim. So, according to the investigative unit in legal analysis, Devin Raffus, I don't know who that is filed by the defense attorney. And I don't know what Devin Raffus is. I may have to look that up. I don't know if that's a person or if that's some kind of special. Believe it or not, they have names for these. That's why you have Amber Alert.
Are you kidding me, Marina?
What?
She doesn't know that is a person's name. She thinks it's
an Amber Alert.
She thinks it's a fucking legal term. It's someone's name. Oh my God. Wow. Just when
Did she really twin thing? Oh my God.
Good God.
They put these people's names in these things for some reason. So I'll check that out.
Maybe oh God. That happens all the time. I find they just put these people's names in these things.
Just throw them in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's only like a friggin' murder indictment. What's the big deal?
For clarification.
I think you got new glasses.
And ask more details about the charges against the client. The motion filed by Leilani's public defender is asking the judge to dismiss 2 felonies and 1 malice murder charge against Leilani. In a separate motion filed in the case, Simon's attorney is also asking for counts 10, 12, 14, and 17 of the indictment to also be dismissed and removed. Those charges are those are when Leilani lied to investigators. I don't know how she.
Oh, so let me get this straight. She just named how many? At least 5 different numbers.
Yeah.
And that's when Leilani lied to investigators. Those 5 counts or whatever they were. See, she doesn't know. She's reading it just like I was doing. She's reading it, but she didn't know what she was going to read ahead of time. So now comes the bullshit game that we're about to listen to, or that we've been listening to.
He's going to get around it 10, 12, 14, and 17, because I mean, it's well established that she misled law enforcement, which caused them to work a lot harder. There's reasons that they have these charges and these statutes here in Georgia. They have those statutes in Florida. There's a reason why
They have those statutes everywhere, dumbass.
Yeah, you can't lie to cops anywhere.
Oh my God.
they have statutes because she and this
Well,
is where I'm
that's
kind of,
what
I
you
can't remember, and I probably should have done a little brushing up on this, because I can't remember.
Oh my God, finally, the bitch says something that's right. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Another good cause.
Listen, there
Oh,
are no good
God.
causes. There are no good causes. I think I told her the other day, pink's not your color. Nothing is your color.
Oh, her mouth.
Call me crazy, but if I'm going to be away from my home in another state, broadcasting live to the masses, my millions of adoring fans, this is what she thinks of people. This is how little she thinks of the people that listen to her. She can't even be bothered to, well, wait a minute. She said she stays up all night researching usually. So how did this
All day.
get by her? Yeah.
All day and all night. Yeah.
How did this get by her? I don't get it.
So many cases. She's got her caseload is too much.
And did you notice that when she, just a few seconds back, when she realized she was in too deep to start bullshitting on those counts that she just numbered? And
Yeah.
I promise you, if I'm unsure as to the imperfect inform wording, which I think is what we just discussed, but if I'm not sure, I can promise you it is an entirely foreign thing to her. She's got no clue. So
Yeah.
Did you notice how she just completely changed the subject and went right to something that she was not talking about? Yeah, because she's in over her head.
Yeah, she should know why she's there. I mean, she should know everything about the motions if she's going to talk about it,
She was the one that called her child in missing, or if it was, because I remember Diane went over there to the house when they thought the child was missing, and she's like, have you called the cops? And by this time it's 9:30 in the morning. I remember that. So I can't remember who actually called law enforcement to report this child missing. And it may have actually been the manager where Danny was.
I'm not entrenched in this case.
It's definitely I don't think it was Danny or Leilani that called law enforcement.
I'm not the one standing out there in front of the courthouse making a damn idiot out of myself. Leilani called. Is that?
I think two people called. Yeah, I think two people called. I don't know if it was Danny or I really don't remember either.
It was one of them, and I'm almost positive it was her. She was correct what she said about the babysitter. The first call was to the babysitter. I'm sure as part of the ruse. Is he there? And the boyfriend was already at work. So, and I haven't followed this case nearly as closely as her. So let me get this straight. We are to believe that Miss Legal Professional here, who's, just all about this case and justice for baby Quentin and blah, 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 blah. But she knows everything except one of the very basics. Who called?
Yeah.
Just sounds ridiculous to me, but that's just me.
If I remember correctly, I'm trying to go off memory on this one. But it really looks bad. And then she deceived law enforcement when they were looking for a 20-month-old son. So all of her actions, like we're watching right now, Letitia Stout trial, right? And we heard how fantastic some of.
She's just streaming Letitia Stout's trial.
Is she right now?
Last I heard, that's what she was doing. That she was, doing what she did with Orrin and Orson's. case that she was forbidden to do it. Yeah, she just, while she's going about all her very important business of the day, she just puts the stream up and lets it roll.
Wow.
And, you know, gets her super chats and whatnot. You know,
And JLR is,
she can only care about so many children at a time, okay?
and she cares about all the babies.
Yes, we've got more children than we've got time for, so we have to prioritize.
Her stories were about where Gannon was, about how she was kidnapped, some guy was laying in the road. I mean, she just went on for days with these stories, and these stories kept changing. Well, Leilani did a lot of the same thing whenever her son was first missing. She was telling law enforcement that she went to go pay a drug debt, that she went to go get Oragel, that, you know, she kept lying to them. At some point, they're going to charge you for that. So I don't know how they're going to handle that, but they may.
They have charged her with murder. They are not
Right.
going to worry about charging her with lying about going to get Oragel.
Yeah.
This is how
Yeah.
dumb she is. Like this really is her absolute staggering ignorance. Like,
Yeah, that's the
there's
least of their worries.
yeah, I wish I could remember what it's called, but it's, well, you know, like after you watch a trial and it's usually been a long trial and there's a conviction and they go to sentencing and the judge will say, by operation of law, counts numbers, blah, 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 and blah, blah, are, they don't say dismissed, but it's because, like they did it in Parkland, anybody who's got major charges. Well,
Right.
once you're convicted of the ultimate charges, we're not worrying about the charge that we gave you for, you know, oh, you lied to us. No.
Yeah.
So what she's saying is, as usual, she's confused.
Reduce those charges. I just don't see how they're going to be getting dropping or dismissing the malice murder count.
That would be because you are not a lawyer. You are a dumbass YouTuber who knows nothing more than your average. I'm not going to comment. So, like her standing out there pontificating about, well, I just don't see how they're going to do this. She's privy to nothing. So that and the fact that she ain't that bright. So that could explain why, you know, I just don't know how they're going to do that. See, she wants people to believe that she has either knowledge and or information that she does not have. And she doesn't.
Yeah, I don't understand worrying about the charges for lying to the police. I mean,
well, because she's got to, you know, I'm sure she wants to be on camera more than 5 minutes. So
right.
she's got to talk when, well, it's harder when you're not prepared and you don't know what you're talking about.
And why did you go there?
It is possible. Again, this is all up to the judge. We have no control over what happens. The prosecutor has no controls over what happened. And here's some more information.
What does that mean? The prosecutor has no control over what happened with what?
The charges.
What? Who does she think brings the charges? Oh my God. What?
Yeah, I think she's talking about the motions, like,
well,
if they're thrown out or not, it would be up to him, up to the judge.
Well, that would be true. However, to say that he has no control, no, he absolutely has control. And that would be his response to the motion. That would be their answer to the motion. And then they will, which the judge already has in front of them, and then they're going to get up and argue the motion.
Right.
Betty.
Right. And this is so common. I mean, I'm wondering why she went there. Like they always try to throw the case out. It's just common. That's the first thing you do, right?
Yes.
And they say no and you move on.
I just wish that, I mean, it'll never happen, but I would just love it if one person that follows her would just for some reason someday and I don't pretend to be a lawyer ever. I am not. I do have a legal education, but I will never tell anybody I'm a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. And I don't know more than I do know, but I do know the basics. I know enough to be able to know a bullshitter when I see one, and one who knows nothing. That I do know. So we have pointed out multiple points here where she's just blatantly wrong. And I'm sure it does seem like I'm just picking on her, and I am, but that's because she's who she is, and she's a joke, in my opinion.
Not to her. She's serious to herself. I mean, this is a job.
This is a grift.
And Leilani first reported her son missing on October 5th. Authorities said she called 911 and said Quentin disappeared from his playpen at their home just outside of Savannah. Thank you. Just outside of Savannah. And that wasn't true. She literally did something to him inside that house. We arrived at that location a day after they had blacked out the windows and did either Star Blue, Luminol, or Amino Black in that
Star
house.
Blue? Oh my God, it's Blue Star, you fucking idiot. Did she just seriously call that Star Blue?
I don't know the difference.
It's called Blue Star. Oh my God.
She just said she killed him inside the house. As far as I know, we don't know that.
No, I mean, we presume that's what happened, but I think this might be a good place for me to put this offer out there. Betty, if you're listening, I challenge you. I will debate you on law. We'll play Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune, or in your case, it would probably be more like Hollywood Squares or something. I would love to do that. Because
Debate her.
yeah, because she could study her whole life to get ready for it, and I still wouldn't be worried.
Yeah, well, again, in her mind, she could do that without studying anything because it's all in her head.
Yeah, because I would say that the first 15 minutes and 3 seconds we've watched of this say quite the contrary.
Yeah, it bothers me though we can assume that he was killed in the house, but we don't know that. And she says we know that he was killed in the house.
Yeah,
that's not gonna be what unless they have proof. That's not gonna fly in the courtroom. You can't just go, yeah, we just know that. Because they put luminol.
Yeah.
Or they blacked out the curtain.
The Blue Star test is based on peroxidase activity of the iron and hema derivatives, which catalyzes the oxidation of the Blue Star reagent. It's not Star Blue pumpkin. Star Blue. She's such an idiot. My God.
Star Blue was her dancer name.
That house.
That was her
there is a reason they believe that child was murdered inside that house, and there is a reason why they charged her with malice murder as opposed to a second-degree murder or a manslaughter charge.
Yeah, because they know more
so
than you.
They obviously have enough evidence to say something horrific happened inside that home where they believe Quentin was killed. Could this be another thing? Like just
I don't understand. Maybe it's in the indictment and I haven't read it, but that's not the difference between murder, malice murder, and manslaughter, being inside the house.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, malice, she did it with intent. She did it, she planned it and all that, but that has nothing to do with the house. She could have done it in the car or outside in the pool. She could have drowned him.
And what you said is exactly right. I'm sure most of us do assume, but that's not what if that's what Betty said was, listen.
She just said.
Assume. She did?
She said that that was what she just said in summation was they had to know he was killed inside that house because she was charged with malice murder rather than I think she said second degree murder and manslaughter
Yeah.
or
Well, it
manslaughter.
has nothing to do
That's how I heard it. But it doesn't make any difference.
no, because it's got nothing to do with what she just said. God, it's hard to believe people are
Just
this
saw
dumb.
in Letitia Stout's trial where they have photos and everything
Yeah.
of all the blood splatter and all the circles on the concrete and things of that nature. Is that what we have? Is that what we're going to be seeing at her trial? I believe so. And I have a funny
Oh my God.
feeling when we see to the true gravity of the evidence inside that home, our hearts are going to break. I truly believe that.
Yeah, like, what does she think? I mean, I tend to believe, here's just my logical thought on what she is saying. I think that if they did have, the whole room lit up with star blue or blue star, I tend to believe that we would not have had this intervening time between the time we did the test. I mean, do we not think that would have been probable cause enough to arrest her? Finding the baby would have been obviously the best scenario, but that's why I don't believe what she's saying. She is saying to drum up emotions and for effect, in my opinion, because I mean, you tell me do you really think that if they went in that house and that place lit up with luminol the way she wants you to believe it did, why that is probable cause. I mean, I don't think they would have waited.
Well, they can't continue to say he disappeared. Like we don't know where he went. Well, he bled here. I don't know. I don't remember anything about they knew she had killed him in the house, but maybe it's something I missed.
Yeah, I don't either. But I mean, we all knew that they clearly, here's the part Betty apparently finds so hard to believe. They know we're not supposed to know what they know. Of course they know way more than they're letting out to the public. She just uses these I've seen enough of it. She lobs these very inflammatory things that she says because she wants the idiots that give her money she's got to keep them stirred up. She's got to keep them riled up. Like, the only thing that stands between Leilani walking free or going to prison for the rest of her life is Bull Scorn Hetty. That's
because she was very violent to this son. I don't know why she was. Well, I have a theory as to why she never connected with this son. With this particular son, she never connected with. So we heard that, she obviously had a connection with her baby daughter, and she had a connection with her oldest son. It was Quentin Simon that she did not have this mother-son connection with, this maternal bonding, if you will. And so we couldn't understand why with this child. And when we were talking to some of the people in and around the area, they stated it had to do with the fact of the baby's father. She did.
People in and around the area. Like,
yeah, the crackheads.
The neighbors, I'm assuming.
I don't think she talked to the neighbors.
Well,
I mean, the neighbors weren't receptive at all.
Yeah, oh gosh, I can't imagine why.
No, she talked to the crackheads. They were giving her all kinds of information, and they knew people who knew people that knew them, and that's where she got a lot of the information.
So yeah, hearsay upon hearsay upon hearsay. Who knows if the people she talked to, even, I mean, my guess would be some of them might have been in a position to know, but they were not all in a position to know. And she sure isn't in a position to know. She knows nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even heard the babysitter say all that.
No. Nope.
And it seems like she would have known.
Oh,
Who knows?
She
But
completely
well,
I will tell you the way she said that about Letitia Stock and seeing the red dots and the blood all over the walls and all of that. And do you think we'll see the same thing in this trial? She has not watched many trials because the first one I watched while she was watching it was Bosley in Tennessee. What's her? Is it Elizabeth?
Megan
What is it?
Bosley.
Yes. She was just,
Evelyn
we're
was
just,
the baby.
right. And she was watching it and it was like her first time. And she wanted to let people know that we're going to watch this trial, and real trials, people don't do what they do on TV, and they don't throw things and they don't yell. Well, everybody knows that. Like, is this your first time? Because, you come into the true crime community. I've seen 100 trials, you know what I mean, following them. But she was just watching it kind of amazed and making comments during the trial.
I watched O.J. Simpson on VHS tape because
really?
if you worked, you went to job, you went to job during the day. Well, we didn't, that's what we had. There was no catch up or any of that. No, you put your damn.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. No, I don't think she watches trials. So she's kind of amazed that she saw that in the Letitia Stock because it's common to show, just like Lori Vallow. I understand that's horrible right now because they're showing autopsy pictures, but they're not pleasant when it's a murder trial. They show blood spatter and they show, things you wouldn't want to see, but it's not uncommon. So for her, it's like, are we going to see that in this trial? Which I don't know. Would they live there if there was blood everywhere?
Yeah, there's many reasonable, logical inferences you can draw by what you didn't see. But see, she isn't smart enough to do that, in my opinion.
Simply giving him too much NyQuil that would be malice. You know what I mean? Because she intended to kill him. That could have been it, but we just don't know. I don't know where she's getting that. Just because they looked for blood doesn't mean they found it.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, anybody who gets their legal information from her, well, enjoy.
But no, they just take it for what she says. I mean, because you'll see it in the chat rooms. You can go to Queen Bee's or anywhere and people are talking about it.
Yeah. I don't think she knows that she's the joke of YouTube. I mean, she truly is. This little part of it.
She just thinks we're wrong. We're haters because we say anything.
Of course. And I keep waiting to hear, like, what exactly is it that she has that anybody wants? Because,
a big YouTube channel. Come on.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, she's known everywhere.
Oh,
Australia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
By all the wrong people.
She is serious when she says it, that she's famous. People, I'm known around the world.
Bitch, you are not known around the world. You are not famous. You're never going to be famous. It's one little lady in Australia that clicks on your chat. That's around the world. Well, Betty, I have someone from Australia.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah, it's like, oh God.
I'm known around the world.
Betty's a simpleton. That's all I can figure.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that you can tell she truly believes people know her everywhere.
Well, if they do, it's not for the right reasons. Hey, Snickerdoodle. Night Owl, how you doing?
How to live in that head, I don't know.
Let's see. Okay, we're 2 hours and 20 minutes in. My dog is, we'll go a few more minutes because the dog is down here looking at me, whining, doing that like where he doesn't actually open his mouth. It's just that whine from the back of the throat, like, this is your
Yeah.
warning, lady. Hurry up.
Mine will just stare at me, dead stare, right beside me.
He stares, but he gives me the sound effects too.
Oh, funny.
Well, no, he's really serious when he starts walking out the door. That's when we're in trouble.
Despised Bubba Moss. And I'm thinking, well, she's had a lot of men. She's on a lot of drugs. I'm sure this is not the first person she despises or hates. So why in the world
None of that.
would she be attacking this young?
Does she know?
No.
Not a lot of drugs. Like she doesn't. I don't know what Leilani's criminal record looks like. I mean, how does she?
And she would stand outside the house and scream stuff like that, and scream it at Billy Joe that she's a whore and you got your legs open in there, and she's horrible.
I have heard Betty say some of the most. Well, that thing we listened to the other day about the undercarriage.
Oh yeah.
I have never known a woman in my life that has said those words. Truly, Betty has the vocabulary, the intellect, and the humor of, like, she is Beavis and Butthead. That's who she is.
Blended.
Not
She's
well.
Beavis and Butthead.
Boy, this 20-month-old boy, why would she constantly be abusing this one child? She abused the other children too, just not to the extent that she abused this child. I mean, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. We did find that all the children were neglected and all the children have come with weird bruises and markings on them. This is not just to Quentin. However, the severity of punishment that she, did to the other kids as opposed to what she did to Quentin was much different. So when we looked into
she
it,
killed
it
him.
was actually Billy Joe that started giving me my first clue. And that is when Bubba Moss recorded.
Betty girl, you better be real careful here. Because, I mean, if I showed you to random people on the street, they might think you look like you've lived a hard life.
Right.
Well, we know she hasn't had a lot of men because, well, no, I guess we don't know that. But that would be my educated guess.
Joe on the phone and actually released that to the public. He put that on Facebook. I can't remember if he put that on Facebook through another creator or if he went out there and just posted it on his Facebook page. But it was something that he did. And it really got under Billy Joe's skin. And so she came out and wrote him a letter. And that was the first time that we realized that there was some kind of flirtation between Bubba Moss and Billy Joe. And so when I started thinking about that and I started looking into that, we're finding out that it is possible that Billy Joe and Bubba had some sort of relationship, some sort of, definitely like not a mother-in-law, son-in-law relationship, something much more than that. And that was from some of the writings that Billy Joe released herself that started pointing in that direction because she was calling Bubba out about it, but without saying it. And we know how to read between the lines because we use our noggin.
Oh, we know how to read between the lines because we use our noggin.
Yeah, all that shit she just said, she ends it with, she read between the lines. That he was flirting with Billy Joe, Quentin's father, and they were having a thing. And so that has something to do with why Quentin was beaten. All this shit is because she read between the lines.
Well, I don't know what books that Betty doesn't read the same books I read. I can promise you that. So I don't know. I mean,
I don't recall any of that being.
Honestly, I tell you what.
She makes me feel like I don't pay attention.
Oh no, don't feel that way. This bitch is so out of control right here. I can't wait for the first person that sues her ass because.
This is nothing. You should listen to her talk about Chief Hadley. That was the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. I mean, it was bad. Why he didn't sue her, I have no idea.
I don't know either. I don't know if
Oh,
it's got something to do with because he's in public office. I don't
yeah,
know,
it's probably why. Yeah. But I
but
mean, she,
I don't know how long the statute of limitations is for you to be able to file a civil case like that. You know, if who knows if he's not going to be, I don't know. That would be my
would
guess would be it had something to do with being in public office, but
probably.
she's
But it's the
disgusting.
same she did with Queen Bee. Just it was a statement of fact that she manufactured drugs and sold them to children.
And more than once. It wasn't just a
Oh
one
yeah,
and done. It was said multiple times. Someday somebody is going to hold that nasty, ugly bitch right there is going to be held responsible for the garbage that comes out of her mouth. She
yeah,
is one of the most reckless
because she
people.
has not had consequences ever. None of those charges ever has she had a consequence to it, and I don't know why.
I
I
don't
mean,
know. I don't
does she
know,
just?
but do you know what she reminds me of? Did you ever see the documentary? Now I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but it's about a very small town. I think it's in the middle of the country, maybe Ohio or Pennsylvania, something like that. And there was a guy who was the absolute town bully. Everybody was scared to death of him. They hated his guts. And finally, one day, he was sitting in front of, I believe, the post office. And somebody blew his brains out of the back of his head, all over his dashboard of his truck. And do you know that not one person in that town, all these years, this has been 25 years, I think, and they have never, ever told who did it.
Oh, who did it? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
It's a,
Oh, is this a true story?
yes, it is. And it's on
Wow.
Amazon. It's called The Town. It's something like the town that wouldn't speak. I don't know, but yeah, oh,
Oh,
absolutely. He was a menace to that town. Now, I'm not saying that she is on the level with that guy, but what I
well,
am
we don't
saying,
know. We don't live there, but for Manitou County, as
she
small
is
as it is,
a person with her mouth. She's obviously been physically abusive. And she's reckless. She's reckless. She's abusive. She's like all the things in one. Ugh.
well, anytime she wants someone to do something for her, or when she's talking to the city council or the school board, she threatens them.
They
It's
hate
just
her.
like she does anyone on YouTube. She will threaten them with what she's going to do if they don't do what she says.
Like I don't know. I don't know why they. What the hell could she do to
Well,
Manatee?
she has a big. She can't probably do anything, but because of her bullhorn, her big mouth, she goes around, doesn't mind telling all your neighbors, telling your family. There's no boundaries with her, and they know that. You know
Yeah.
that
Well, like I
she
told
doesn't.
her before, bitch, you won't be doing that shit in front of my family's house.
She writes letters. She,
No.
yeah,
I write better.
yeah. But I'm saying that's why.
Oh, I know what she does.
And the lying, she doesn't mind lying. She'll say that you're a child molester, and there's no proof of it, but she'll still say it.
Yeah, the day she fucking said something about that, like that about me, is the day that she's going to find herself in court for the rest of her life, if need
Yeah,
be. Yeah, that's the problem. She's a bully. That is exactly what she is.
she is a bully.
Yeah,
She is.
she's a bully.
It's just
But
like when she's doing this, she doesn't care what anybody thinks. She's going to do this. She's going to say what she wants, and she doesn't give a shit what anybody thinks or who it hurts.
well, Beer Can, who lives in Manatee County, says, "Believe me, she's a menace to Manatee County."
Is Beer Can in here? I'm not
Yeah.
watching chat.
Hey, Earth, how
Yeah.
you doing, girl? Hey, back in the day, I
Hey,
had
y'all.
somebody contact me that had the displeasure of being in some meetings with her. I'm not going to say some, you'll know some of the places she likes to go. And they just told me that she
The bar.
is one of the most miserable people that graces the doorstep of that that venue. I need to go take my dog out.
Okay. Well,
I'm
put it off here.
gonna try and maybe finish this up. Let's see, how far did we get through this? Oh, well, 53 minutes. Oh no, wait. Her video
Alabama.
is 1 hour, 5 minutes, and we are 18 something in.
Yeah.
Well, I might try and finish up tomorrow. I don't know. It'll just depend on what's going on.
All righty.
Oh, listen, I found out what was wrong with my eye the other night. Remember I kept
What
saying,
happened?
well, I didn't figure it out until yesterday. So I didn't wear any makeup yesterday. And I kept doing this. I was like, God dang, what is that? So I went and turned on the big magnifying mirror, and right near my tear duct, this, my eye makeup is metallic, and I put like a pressed pigment of glitter on the middle, and a teeny weeny tiny little piece of that glitter cut right like where my eye duct is, and it's like a little teeny weeny tiny paper cut. That's why it hurts so bad.
Is it better?
It is better. It's
Oh,
much
good.
better. It's not
Good.
It's not 100%, but it's way better. So
Well, cool. Yeah, my voice is kind of coming back. I can tell if I talk too much, it's gonna go again. But
well, go drink some tea and some honey, and put a little like knit scarf. Turn your air down to like 50.
I'm gonna do it.
Scarf around.
All right, honey. We'll see you
All right.
later. Bye, guys.
And everybody, I hope that y'all have a
Hey, beer can. Steph. Earth. Jasmine. I'll see y'all later. Snickerdoodle.
can you
All
take
the people.
yourself out, or do I have to do it?
I'll take me out.
Okay,
Bye.
I didn't know if you could. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining me, and I swear we are going to try and finish up. She's got a way of just getting me. Betty, that is. Well, Heels too, but definitely Betty. God, that bitch pisses me off. That's my very professional. That's my professional opinion. Oh, I am. Thank you so much. The video that you fixed for me, I very much appreciate it. And maybe I think I'll play it. I think I'll play it on the way out the door. All right, everybody. We might try and finish this up tomorrow. If not, I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you in the next couple days. And we're going to play the intro on the way out.